Peace to all of you who truly love Jesus Christ. Today I want to warn you to reject any gospel that is telling you not to fear God, and not just a reverential fear, but to really tremble and fear before Him. You know, there are some who do not understand the peace of God. So they will say, well, how can you have peace if you are in fear? But the word says, I believe in Psalms, it says that the fear of the Lord is clean. It's not the same kind of fear of the world. So, yes, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. But the fear of the Lord is something completely different. It's a clean fear, but it's a true fear. I mean, you would think that you wouldn't have to tell someone to fear a spirit, a being who can create a world like this, who speaks and things appear. Why would someone have to tell you to fear that? And that's why the word says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and of knowledge. Because if you don't fear Him, what kind of sense can you have? One of my favorite books of the Bible to read is Peter. And Peter said that in 1 Peter chapter 1, he said, if you call on the Father, who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, he said to live your life here, your temporary life here, in fear. And most people today who are preaching in the churches are preaching a gospel that is telling people not to fear. That God, because of His mercy, is not basically storing up wrath for sinners. We are serving a God who is eternal, who is holy. And He has promised that there will be those who will not enter into His rest, into heaven, who will burn for eternity in a place of complete darkness. You have to understand this. You have to understand the goodness and severity of our God. Yes, He is good. Yes, He's kind. Yes, He is love. But He has wrath. He is not a man. When He says something is going to be forever, it will be forever. His word will not change, and He will not relent on what He said. You will either fear God now, or you will fear Him with the wicked when they are crying and begging and pleading and asking for one more chance. But the thing is when your life ends here, there is no more chance. There is no more time to repent. You have to take that time to repent now, to cry out to God now, to beg for forgiveness now. And Jesus made it clear to us that we are not to fear man, but fear God, who is able to destroy both body and soul in hell. Fear Him. So, I just wanted to make this quick video because I see a lot of Christians who don't understand the fear of the Lord. And they believe that the fear of the Lord is a dirty thing. But the Word tells us that it is clean, that it is good. And the Lord is merciful and kind to give those who seek Him this fear. He puts it in us to fear Him, that we have understanding of who He is. And He is the King of Kings. He is to be revered. He is to be feared and trembled before. Even though He is kind and merciful and good. But you cannot cross this God. You cannot offend Him. You cannot take the blood of His Son as a light thing, as His words, you should be trembling before his word. Every word that he says. To be careful to obey them, to follow every direction that he gives us. Oh yes, you should be fearing God. And that is a must. Because if you don't fear him, like I said, if you don't fear him now, you will fear him later. Be blessed.